Kalimera, kalispera, kalinichta. No matter where in this weird, wacky, and wonderful world you might be, no matter the time zone, the score won't change. The Arsenal just bagged another 3 points. Oh, ho, 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 here we go.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Squad Central. And joining me once again, hot off his broadcast of the 4-1 victory over Leeds United, is my podcast brother from another mother, Mr. Super Kevin Campbell. Oh, who's frozen in
Hi,
time.
Soph. How you doing? Squaddies. I'm here, Soph. I'm here.
Look at us, Kev. We're surrounded by the
Squaddies. At ease. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it while we got you. Look at us, Kev. We're surrounded by the Arsenal fan art in our background today. Well done to all the Gooners who turned up for the game today. We're not going to talk about empty seats and tickets today. We're going to talk about victory and another step closer to the Premier League title. Super Kev. Hello, squaddies. We got all the usual suspects in the house. Welcome to each and every one of you. And Rich, welcome back live. It's been a while since we've seen you. Kev, I've got some stats for you before you give me your analysis of the game and before we get stuck into some player stuff. We had 13 shots, 6 on target. They had 7 and 5. We had 67% possession today, 627 passes compared to Leeds 305, 85% accuracy, 71 for them. 13 fouls committed by Leeds United, 11 by us, 2 yellow cards, no yellow cards for the Gunners, no red cards in the game, 5 offsides for the Gunners, 1 for Leeds, 4 corners for us, and 3 to them. The result is 4-1. And Super Kev, your immediate reaction to the match.
Sophie, it was such a great reaction. After us seeing Liverpool roll over earlier on. Let's do it. Marcus says it just like rolled over, got their bed. Come on. You know, they could have done better, but we had to respond. And I've got to say, we didn't start, another team starting and getting a shot at our goal early doors, Soph. I don't like it.
Who's that?
But, they get a goal. I don't like it. Something's not right. But, Sophie, I've got to say,
damn internet situation.
Am I back?
We're missing all the good stuff here, Kev. Maybe do it on your phone or do it off camera.
Oh, let me go out and come back in.
All right. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Sorry. What?
Let's do that. Let's remove Kev. Very rare I remove him, but it wasn't exactly like a, red card of removal. He'll be back and we'll get stuck into it. I got something funny to share with you because I was texting Kev during the game. I always do. Instead of doing watch-alongs, which I would probably be banned from YouTube forever, I just text Kev while he's working, which is always hilarious. I also have something that I need to ask you guys before Super Kev gets back. We're going to do this next week on the show, superstitions, okay? Things that you've been doing that you're not going to change for the next 9 games. Usually you guys see me in different hats all the time, but I have been wearing this puppy quite a bit lately. There's a reason for it. We've been winning since I've been wearing this hat, so I refuse to take it off. Yeah. So basically, I'm stuck with this hat. Even if it's 100 degrees in Southern California, I will be wearing this hat for the rest of the season. So that is why I am wearing this hat to death right now, because I can't take it off. Thank God it's nothing like I haven't showered, because imagine not showering till the end of May. I don't want to know gross things like that. But next week, we're going to do a show like that, where we just talk about the things we're doing or we've started to do that we refuse to change. Right. It was a brilliant second half. First half was a little bit dodgy today, wasn't it, in spurts? But how wonderful was it to see the return of this man, Mr. Gabriel Jesus? And how wonderful is it to see the return of this man too, Super Kev, back in.
Back in. I'm on my phone, Soph. My internet has no problems at all day. I've been on podcast from 11 this morning. Highbury Squad comes on and it starts playing up.
What is going on? Who is trying to sabotage you or us? Because I've got you on a separate line here recording. And, you know, I had the show all week. No problem with anyone other than you, Super.
I know. Hey, listen, they say that I'm a problem, Sophie, but I'm really not, honestly.
All right, Kev, what did you make of the match?
Sophie, I thought after Liverpool rolled over early on against City, getting beat 4-1, I mean, that was too much. It was up to Arsenal to respond, Soph. Arsenal had to respond. And let's be fair, we didn't start the game well. From kickoff, Sophie, another team has a shot at our goal. It's not good enough. That's probably where the gripe ends. Because I thought, you know, Leeds defended pretty well early on, Sophie. Mm-hmm. And it took a little bit of time to get us going. But we really needed Jesus today, I've got to say. Mm-hmm. It was good to see Saka get a little rest as well and try something different. You never know. And obviously we were in touch. And you said to me after, what was it, 20-something minutes, 19 minutes or something, you said, this Jesus and Trossard ain't working.
Okay, I'll read it.
Read it. So read
I
it,
just
please.
told them, Kev, while you were trying to get back into the show, that I text you during, well, you're working and I'm just texting you relentlessly. And I sent you this one today. Oh my God, I can't. Here it is. I got it. So I wrote, how long? Oh, okay. So I go, this Trossard Jesus thing hasn't quite kicked off yet, has it? And then you wrote, it's only halfway through, Soph. It's only halfway through the first half, Soph. And then I sent the laughing bitmoji. And then I wrote, Trossard doesn't look comfortable on that side. That was it.
So it's listen, and again, he's probably done it in training, but playing with Jesus against an opposition, he hasn't done that yet. He hasn't done that playing from the right-hand side. So it's going to take a little bit of time to get going. But Sophie, let's be honest, good players work it out. Good players work it out. Mm-hmm. And Jesus' second goal, I hold my hands up, so that's as good a goal as you see anywhere. Interchange of play. Jesus picks the ball up, centre forward, outside the box, turns, plays a really smart ball into Trossard. Trossard protects it, goes to the byline, reverse it back, and there's Jesus with the fit. That was superb, Sophie. Really was. So in the end, Sophie, it turned out to be an easy game in the end. Mm-hmm. And what could have been a difficult game, we made it easy. Conceded, but I'm not going to go too crazy about that because I thought Leeds had some good actions going forward. And Ramsdale saved a couple. So I've got to say fair play to Leeds. They're not bad.
Yeah. Kev, I thought Leeds earned their goal. I don't think they deserved anything from the game in the end, but they certainly worked hard for that goal, especially in the first half. In the second half, I thought we completely and utterly crushed them and destroyed them like we were one of those super galactic, you know, like sci-fi movies where we just literally line it up and the planet's right there and we just go bosh, bosh, bosh.
Blitz.
We blitz them. Yeah, completely blitzed them. I wanted to go back to a comment you just made about good players figure it out. I know I'm joking and stuff, and I always, I mean, I can't help it. I'm a worrywart, you guys. I've told you about my PTSD. After seeing Man City destroy Liverpool 4-1, I loved how we matched them for the score. Just these little teeny tiny mental things, Super Kev. They go first. They have an amazing game. Grealish has probably one of his best games ever for Manchester City. We're going second against a Leeds team that is battling for survival, and has and can do damage on the day. Were you surprised a little bit when we talk about players, and we'll get to ours in a sec? Were you surprised he left the two on the bench? Are you surprised he left McKennie had a lot of travel because of international? Who was it? He had Rodrigo. Was it Rodrigo on the bench? Not Rodrigo.
No, Rodrigo played.
Rodrigo played. There were a couple of players he had on the bench.
Bamford was on the bench
as well. Were you surprised?
No, I'm not surprised, Sophie, because they have a massive game against Nottingham Forest on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
So I know it's going to Arsenal, and Arsenal, before your big game on Tuesday at home, you just want your players to get through, but you can be a little bit smarter because that's the one they're going to want to win. Yeah, they want to get a result at Arsenal, but the likelihood of it, is very tough. So I think the manager worked his squad quite well. I thought they carried a threat in the first half. So they created a couple of chances, couple that Ramsdale had to save. So
he had two great saves in the first half, Kev.
A couple that he had to save. But I will say, Sophie, for the goal, I thought Ramsdale could have done a little bit better.
So we'll get to the goal because I know you love a clean sheet and you were probably super disappointed with that. So to carry on the player, because I was surprised of a couple of the players, but yes, I understand it. You're going to try and get something out of Arsenal, seeing how some teams have played them of late. Super Kev, Leeds just can't help themselves, though, can they? They leave some gaps, and we totally exploited all of that in the second half. Trossard, Jesus, Martinelli, that front three. I wanted to talk to you about a player who I was just blown away with today, and that was Gabriel Martinelli. And you talk about players figure it out. He's played with Jesus this season. He's played with Trossard this season. He's played with Eddie and Nketiah this season. He's moved about this season. He was the chaos and confusion was in abundance in that second half, especially.
Played with Reece Nelson.
He's played with Reece Nelson. Talk to me about Gabby Martinelli a little bit, Kev. You talk about players having to figure it out. Sometimes it's not as easy playing with the same players week in, week out. We've had to adjust, and he's just been brilliant of late.
I think Gabby is maturing. He's maturing. He's starting to understand football a lot better. Playing regularly has helped him. Getting dropped has helped him as well, because that makes you figure things out a lot quicker because you want to get back in the team. But I think in training, I think it's a learning environment, Sophie, that Mikel Arteta and the coaching staff put on, where they learn the game of other players that they're going to play with in order to get the best out of you. And you have to understand that when you're playing, when you're on the training pitch, and then you're hoping that can reflect on a match day. And as you said, Martinelli's played with everybody. He looks a threat all the time. Obviously didn't get on the score sheet today, but he still was a real threat. Work rate is always there. Mm-hmm. Whoever's marking him's got real problems, haven't they? Because
they do.
He can go both ways. He can cut inside. He can go outside. He's a real handful. But again, this is all part of that learning process, Sophie, that we want these young players to have, because they're only going to get better. The more they play, the more players of quality that they play with, they're only going to get better. So I think Martinelli, we talk about Saka. I think Martinelli's done a remarkable job. Kind of, not quite, but kind of under the radar.
So I was going to wait to get to the play ratings, but this one I wanted to dive in a little bit before, with you, because Saka wasn't playing today. And I almost felt like Gabby, I love his attitude. He never complains, even when he wasn't started. He's just to put your head down. We have all of those players in that starting 11. Put your head down and just graft. What I love about him today, Kev, it almost felt like he said, I know Saka isn't playing, but I've got you guys. I've got you on this side. I can switch on the other side. Don't worry. Super Gabby's here. And you don't have to worry about Saka not playing. My boy can just come on just to keep his legs, warm for the last 10, 15 minutes of the match.
Loosen them out.
Did you feel, Kev, that, again, like, I love that we have players who play with a chip on their shoulder, even though maybe they don't have a reason to?
I think when you play for Arsenal, you have to. You have to have that chip. With that cannon on your chest, Sophie, it weighs heavy on players who can't carry it. It weighs heavy on players who are unsure. You have to wear it with a bit of a chip on your shoulder. You have to wear it with a bit of smarts. And you have to wear it with what we know, pride. You got to wear that thing with pride. And Gabriel Martinelli wears it with all of those things. I think, if I'm honest with you, I think having Jesus back is very good for Gabriel Martinelli. Although Saka weren't there, it was very good for Gabriel Martinelli because a lot of the donkey work through the middle, Gabriel Jesus does. Well, at one stage, in the second half, I saw him at left back, making a tackle at left back. We're not going to be able to stop that out of his game, that's just the way he is. His love for the game takes him places. But I think it really helps Gabby Martinelli, help Trossard, help Saka. We've seen the amount of players it's helped this season. But I don't want to detract away from Martinelli. Martinelli is maturing beautifully. Slowly, Soph. That's the way we want it.
Yeah.
Slowly but permanently. Because you know what? In a couple of years' time, Soph.
Yeah.
These young players will be 20, 22, 23, stay 24. These guys are going to be incredible.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I thought off the ball today, he did so many incredible things on the ball today, but he was so good off the ball today. He never relented. He never gave up. He just kept going. And even when, we were 3-1 up, what I liked, I saw City when they were 4-1 up at Liverpool, Kev, and they're all hustling for the ball still. Liverpool they should be ashamed of themselves. They gave up in that game, I felt, anyway. I know professionals don't give up, but sometimes we put our feet up at work.
It looked that way. Yeah.
And what I loved, Kev, is that we matched them for the intensity. We're 4-1 up. We're still playing like we're 1-1 or 1-0 down. The relentlessness. You wrote to me, your response was, we're relentless. And you've been wanting to see us be, the other word you used today, and the one that you've been wanting to see for a long time, is ruthlessness.
Ruthless, yes. Ruthless. Got to be ruthless, Sophie. Listen, you see Man City, they're not going to if Liverpool take a step back, they're going to take a step forward.
No.
And maybe two. And they go and they go and turn Liverpool over big style. It's up to us. A lot of people didn't see this happening against Leeds because Leeds ain't a bad side. They always play us tough. But we score 4 goals. We'd take 4 goals, wouldn't we? We would take 4 goals, especially after today. And we play with a hunger. I think the hunger is there. And again, this is where the manager earns his crust. Last 10 games, 9 games to go now, still 8 points clear.
Yeah.
Chalk one off. Move on.
This is it.
That's the mantra.
There's no doubt, Kev, that we're hungry. We've definitely got the munchies. As a team, we've got the major league munchies, and I love to see it. All right, let's get stuck into these player ratings. Rambo, Kev, and then you take us through the team. Rambo for you, Super Kev.
Ramsdale made a couple of saves, didn't really have a lot to do, but most of the things he done, I thought he done very well. As I said, I think he'll be a bit disappointed with the goal because he did get a hand to it and it kind of went through him. So
there are some squaddies that think that maybe you're a bit harsh because they felt Zinny and Xhaka had a little say in that, and then the deflection as well with the goal.
I'm just saying, as a goalkeeper, if you get a hand to it, you think that you can save it. Do you know what I mean? If you get a hand to it, you can divert it or whatever. But like I've said, I'm not holding that against him. I just say I still give him 7.5. So I do, because I thought he had a decent game. His kicking was fine, and you know what, Sophie? We didn't have any one of those panic moments with him.
Yeah, that was a really good thing. It was a nice, generally clean game from Rando.
Yeah, so I give him 7.5.
Me too, Kev. Me too. Who's next?
We got a goal scorer on our hands at right back, Soph. Benjamin White, Benny Blanco, Soph. Over to you.
Kev, listen, you know when a woman says she loves a player like this, you know, some people go, oh, because he's good looking. No, shut up. He doesn't even bat for my team, number one. Number two, I love this guy. I love this. I can't tell you how much I love Benny Blanco. The dude is now scoring goals. Kev, I know I sound like a broken record sometimes, but you said it on the show, you know, as a goal scorer and a striker, last season we did better, right? With our ESR off the bench and Saka and Martinelli. You know, before that it was Aubameyang relying on Lacazette, relying on Pepe, relying on players that were just like not consistent enough. We're getting goals from Xhaka. We're getting goals from Benjamin White. We're getting goals from Martinelli. We're getting goals from everybody. I love him, Kev. He is, for me, my player of the season. I think he's one of the best right backs in Europe right now. This conversation with Arsenal players about are they the best in the team or the league? No. Let's start talking about Europe. Benny Blanco gets an 8.5 for me today, Kev. I may even bring it up to a 9, depending on what you say.
Well, here's one thing I will say. He played with another different right winger today. And the performance was there. Not only was the performance there, Soph, he still got himself on the back post as a right back from the wide player and put one in. For me, Soph, he gets a 9 today because you know what? Flawless, defensively sound, makes really good decisions. I remember at the start of the season going into that Crystal Palace game, Sophie, where everybody's saying Zaha's going to tear him. What we're doing with Ben White at right back, da. Now, you know what 50 million buys? 50 million buys a player who's so versatile, who now is not only versatile, he's improving and he's adding goals to his game, Sophie. What is that? 2 goals in 4 games?
Goals in. I mean, this is just brilliant. It's just brilliant.
It's amazing. So, listen, I'm giving Benjamin White, Benny Blanco a 9.
A 9. Unbelievable. I'm switching my 8.5 to a 9, Super Kev.
All right, I'll switch it here now to a 9. Yeah, I thought quality. So pleased for him to score. I mean, I didn't even know he was that far forward, so until the ball went across and it went in, and I see Ben White giving it that. I'm like, whoa, brilliant.
And such a great finish, so confident, like Bosch. It was just beautiful. The run, the timing, all of it.
Timing.
Perfection.
Timing is everything. As a fullback, when you're getting in there, the timing is everything. Fantastic.
Who's next?
Left back stroke midfield dynamo, Zinchenko. And do you know what, Soph? I will say, I thought Zinchenko was a little bit wasteful early on. And that's not like him. But I think that's down to Leeds, the way they set up. Because they know he's a threat. But as soon as he works it out, Soph, he's unstoppable. You can't stop this guy. You can't stop this guy moving the ball and playing through teams. He's so intelligent on the ball. Look, I don't think he was as good as he usually is today. So I'm gonna downgrade him. I'm gonna give him an 8. So all right.
Okay.
And this is him not being as good as he usually is. I'm giving him an 8 because you know what? We needed his technical ability today to get that ball moving, and we got it done.
Yeah. I mean, look, again, we've got a team now where we've got players and not everyone has to be the rock star every single game. He's been such a rock star for us since his arrival. You and I have had an honest conversation that he's been a bit cheap with the ball and gotten away with it because of all the other good things that he does. We're willing to maybe overlook some of those things if they don't lead to a goal or any type of disaster in a match. It wasn't his best game today, but his best game is just so ridiculous that an average game for him is maybe a best game for another player in another team.
Exactly.
So
his standards are so high.
Yeah. I give him a 7, Kev.
Okay, cool. The much maligned man now at the back, who everyone was worried about, Rob Holding, who I thought had an absolute fantastic game, Soph. Do you know why he had a fantastic game, Sophie? Because we hardly ever heard his name other than he headed it, he won the ball, he passed it. That was it. Nothing controversial, no holding, you get it? I give Rob Holding an 8, Sophie. Going into the game, a lot of pressure on his shoulders in a must-win game. I give Rob Holding an 8.
I mean, at this point in the season, I've been, very vocal about results are everything. Performances, I am less bothered about. Of course, I'll be super bothered about them if they result in mistakes. And Holding made a massive one last season. He knows it. I think it's been unfair, some of the comments geared towards him. There's a reason why Holding is one of the survivors of the Wenger era. There's a reason that the players love him. He's very popular in the team, Kev. They love him in the dressing room. I've never seen a hair job like it before. The dude is wearing Alice bands now. He seems reborn. And another player who's playing with better players and looks like he's improved.
Yes.
Matt Turner said the same thing to me last week. I would never have been the starting goalkeeper for the United States in the World Cup if I wasn't playing with the players I was every day or being coached by Mikel Arteta. And I think Rob Holding, does he have a mistake in him? Yes, a lot of players do. But for now, he did his job, professional. He gets a solid 7.5 for me today, Kev.
7.5. Okay. Colossus at the back, Gabriel. So I'll let you go first.
So I thought of him the other day. You know why, Kev? I thought of him because I was listening to, it came up on the radio, Miley Cyrus' song Flowers. You know how it's about, her singing that she doesn't need a dude to give her flowers and all that stuff. Gabriel, I can buy myself flowers. I hope he's going to get his flowers and he's going to get what he deserves because he is unbelievable. I mean, again, today, I thought in the first half, a little bit dodgy in a couple of areas. He and Holding, they've played together. They don't have the same partnership. But for me, this guy just continues to be a leader. Again, I didn't think that it was his best game, but still a good game for him is an 8, Kev.
Sophie, I'm just going to go a little bit more than you. I'm going to go 8.5. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
He's put in with Rob Holding. He's got a new partnership to deal with. And I know they've played together before, but still, with the pressure, what's going on, somebody has to hold it together back there. And I think he is the glue. Because don't forget, when Zinchenko goes further up the pitch and he goes and joins in, he's got to cover virtually 2 spots. He's got to be left back. Anything that pops out, he's got to crash it. And he's got to be centre half beside Rob Holding, who, as we say, we know he's got a mistake in at times, but it's great that we don't see the mistakes. So, Mr. Reliable, well said, Richard. Mr. Reliable, I'll give him just a half a point more than you, Sol, because I think without him, we are not the same.
I think it's a great point, Kev. I do. And remember last year at the beginning of the season, people were talking about mistakes creeping into Gabriel's game.
That's right.
This is why we need to be a little not forgiving, but be open to Holding starting in Saliba's place. At least he's a familiar. You're not relying on Kivior to just come in. We don't have desperate situations where we have to put, players who haven't really been in that pressure cooker just yet, Kev. And rely on them so much.
Yeah, I agree with that, Soph. Next is the General, Thomas Partey in midfield. listen, what I'm going to say is I thought Mikel Arteta handled this one absolutely perfectly. We know that he was carrying a little knock and, you know, he trained and made himself available for the game. Again, without himself, a lot of the time, we do not control games the way we do. As you said, we had over 600 passes. So much comes through this guy. So much. He breaks so much up. He gets us moving. And you know what? He didn't need to be spectacular today.
Right.
He just needed to do his job. And he'd done his job perfectly. Give it to Odegaard. Give it to Xhaka. Give it to Trossard. Give it to Jesus. Win it back when it pops out. So, again, I'm going to give Thomas Partey 8.5. I thought, again, very good performance without having to be spectacular.
Yes. This is what I love about getting results like this. We won 4-1, and not everyone really played spectacularly for two halves. They didn't. This is what champions are made of. You grind out those results, or you end up like having a bit of a scare, and then you go smash them 4-1. He had a game in the shadows today, Kev, like we like to say, and that suits me fine. An 8 for Thomas Partey.
8 for Thomas Partey. And listen, I've got to say, Granit Xhaka. So, listen, a player who is learning a new position, really, so because playing the attacking 8 position isn't easy. Because at times there's times where he doesn't look comfortable up there, so, and there's times where he does look comfortable. But I could tell you this much: we need Granit Xhaka in this team. We really do. His steel, his mentality, his ability, his running power, and yeah, he's not the quickest. Doesn't have to be so. We got legs behind him in Thomas Partey who can cover all that. What he brings to this team is a balance of that midfield that is so sweet. And he's adding goals. He scores another goal. He scores with his head today. So Sophie gets a 9 from me today, Granit Xhaka.
Kev, can I just say how much I love that goal?
Listen, when we speak about the next guy,
okay, we'll see.
Then I'm gonna discuss.
Okay, sure, fine.
What you're gonna say,
Kev? I'm gonna just say to you, I agree with everything you said about Xhaka, and I match your mark for him. Bosh.
9. Okay. Next is Captain Odegaard.
Okay, real quick for me, again, not his best game, but what I loved was another one who worked in the shadows, didn't do anything too glitzy or too glamoury today up until that last pass. Holy moly, what a pass for the goal. That was just so sexy, sublime. It was just sweet. It just defines who he is. So even though it might not seem like he's doing everything, he was commanding in the second half. He pushed the ball where it needed to go. He allowed others to be the hot ones on the day, just kept supplying and moving. Loved it. He gets an 8 for me, Kev.
So, Martin Odegaard today, let me tell you something. Played his part, played his captain's role today. And I'm going to tell you why he played his captain's role. In what could have been a very, very difficult game, Leeds were on the press. Leeds were trapping us quite a bit as well. They were very good. But if you watch Odegaard, he adjusted his position, especially when in the second half, to get on the ball a lot more. Got on the ball just to keep it ticking over. Keep them running. If you keep them running, in the end, they are going to get tired. And when they get tired, then you could start bringing it down and putting those passes in. And I'm telling you, he gets a full point for that pass to Granit Xhaka. I am telling you, Sophie, it was unbelievable, the spot. It was perfection. And do you know how to tell it was perfection, Sophie? When the pass is made and Granit Xhaka heads it, watch Meslier. Just watch Meslier. Meslier goes like that. and it's in the corner.
He's
There's
beaten.
nothing it was just so flat and perfect, inch perfect. I was going to give him an 8. For that pass, he gets a 9. Trust me. Absolutely outstanding without being crazy good for 90.
Kev, you convinced me to up it by 0.5 point for Benny Blanco. I'm doing the same for Odegaard. Odegaard, the captain of all captains, the master.
You're giving him 8.5. Love it.
Yes.
Love it. Right. I'll leave this one to you, Gabby Martinelli. We discussed him earlier on.
Yes, we did. So we don't have to go into too much, but maybe I'll just use words, right? By the way, I love seeing him back with Jesus. And, you know, Saka didn't play as big a part today, but my goodness. He is just beyond special. I love this player. I just think that he had a great game. To see him combining as well and to have the freedom and the confidence, the way he moves in that final third now. And with Trossard being part of the team, there's this switch. And the movement is just, if you're a defender, you must be so confused playing the Arsenal and trying to track players and how they open spaces for each other as well when they don't even have the ball. I love their combination, particularly for the goal. The reason why I have a few pictures of them is I'm loving that this was a combination today, Kevin. It was one of my favorites actually as well. And I just wanted to put this picture up because Ben's hair here, my goodness. This was before he got Mr. Cool and started tanning every single day. But Martinelli, for me, is my man of the match. I'm going to give him a 9.8. Brilliant today. Commanding. Just bossed the match from start to finish. Gabriel Martinelli. And maybe I have another man of the match. We'll see.
Hey, Sophie, you can't have 2. Come on now. I know you like to push the boat a bit, but you can't have 2. So, okay. Listen, I thought Martinelli was a 9. I thought not only did he graft, not only did he show speed, being a threat in behind, he tracked back, wonderful. He was our outlet at the top of the pitch. He was brilliant. I think he's getting better, Soph. I think he's really improving. His understanding of the game, his understanding of where to go, where to be, where to run, when to run, because timing, when you play up front, timing is everything. So I'm going to give him a 9. And I listen. I thought he played well, but I've got a different man of the match. I think you know who my man of the match is.
Why don't we move on then, Kev, to the next player?
So I'm going to go we go on to Trossard. So
okay.
And what I will say about Trossard, we bought him for a little money. We were looking at spending 80 million on Mudryk. Let me tell you something, people. We spent 20-odd million on Trossard. Look at the production. This guy, he's played left, he's played centre, and he's played right. And he's got production. He's got production.
7th assist, I think it is now, Kev.
Listen, he is a little bit of glue that we never had, Soph. He is a little bit of glue that actually we can rest Saka. We can rest Martinelli. We can rest Jesus if we so wish, because we've got a player who can operate at a high level, but he's productive. Not only can he operate there, he's productive. Another assist, Soph. Listen, playing wide, it took a little bit of time to get used to, of course. But I understand that because you're playing against a team at one stage, I saw six players across their back line and 4 players in front. And they got the goalkeeper in there. That's 11 players, you know, within this for their box type thing. This guy works it out, Sophie, and his interchange of play with Jesus, which you said, you know, it weren't working early on, but good players work it out. And Trossard works it out, gets another assist. He gets an 8.5 from me, so
amazing. So, Kev, the reason why I asked you at the beginning, it's like, is this Trossard Jesus thing working? Is because you can see a little deeper than me in the sense that you get the idea of when a gut feeling of something that just isn't going to work, right? Whereas then you have something that needs to marinate in a game. And because Trossard hit it off right away with everybody, an immediate impact, I had an immediate PTSD concern in that, oh no, is he not going to be able to hit it off with the main man, like our guy who ended up getting us here in the first place? This guy, I'm going to go on record right now and say, if the Arsenal Football Club win the Premier League, Trossard will go down as one of the greatest ever January signings. His
Totally
impact
agree.
has been insane. He gets Kev, just because he got another assist in the way he played in the second half and he overcame having to play, with a new partner again at this phase in the season, he gets an 8.5 for me. I just think he's brilliant. I love this player. Brilliant stuff.
I honestly, I love him. I think you see him pop up on the left. You see him go with the centre. You see he ended up in the centre, obviously, because Jesus was taken off to keep his legs right for next week. I love this guy. But let's get back to the main man, the man who's been out for a while. So,
you know what, Kev?
Started.
You know what, Kev? I'm going to let you as a striker talk about him, what it means to be out, how he's come back. But today, I'm just going to say one thing. He was like the Jesus, the beginning of the season. And if he's going to play like this, holy moly, Arsenal fans, hold your pants up with a very strong belt. Go on, Kev.
So I think before the game, we were saying that we need Jesus. We need before the game and during the game, we were saying we need the king. We need king.
You text me and you said we need our king.
We need our king. He's such a massive centerpiece for what we do, because no disrespect to anybody else who can play in that centre forward role, Jesus brings something totally different to this team. Look at the penalty. Dropped his shoulder a couple of times, chopped it a couple of times, gets taken down, penalty. And that move with Trossard was Jesus' early season, where he moves wide, Trossard goes into the centre forward spot. Sophie, he's got no right to play that ball to Trossard, plays him a good ball. Trossard protects it, does well. But it's the speed at which he gets onto the reverse pass. That is what we needed. That's what we need Jesus to be. We need Jesus to be our number 9 and our main man. And today, he came back with an absolute bang. 2 goals today, taken off probably to protect him, because Sophie, I'm seeing my centre forward making tackles at left back. This guy's incredible. He really is incredible. And I want to see this Arsenal function when it really matters with a fully confident Jesus. And now he's got 2 goals. You can imagine how he feels now, so I feel for it. I feel absolutely fantastic for him, so, because strikers are confidence people. We're confidence players. He's got 2 goals. He's like that. I'm the main man here. I could play with anybody, I could play with all of the guys. I've proven that. And now I'm back amongst the goals. We need Jesus to bring us home, Soph. That's what we need. So I'm giving Jesus a 10 today, Sophie.
What?
He gets a 10 because, let me tell you, that hard road from injury, he's come a long, long way. Yeah. Could he have done some things better? Yeah, of course he could. You tell me a player who don't make a mistake. But you know what, Sophie? 2 goals. He made the penalty. He takes the penalty, scores it, and he doesn't even play the full 90. But his impact was incredible.
incredible. He gets a 10 from me. I don't care. Scored 2 goals. The main man is back.
I'm going to give him a 9.5. He and Gabby Martinelli are my joint men of the match.
Hey, you can't.
Okay.
You said Gabby's
got
got 9.8.
You know what? Jesus shaves it because he scored 2 goals.
No, you said Gabby's got 9.8. So if you
give
him 9.5, he can't be
I'll give Jesus a 9.95. It's just beautiful. I don't care. Give them all man of the match. You keep getting 3 points until the end of the season, boys, and I'll make you all man of the match. I don't care. Kev, just brilliant stuff. Who's next? Do you want to do the subs together?
I'll tell you what, let's do Saka and Jorginho first, because they came on at 60
earlier, yeah.
And we didn't really skip a beat, so did we? If we're honest, we know Leeds do carry a threat on the break, and we did concede a goal, but it was no mistake. They're not a bad side going forward. So I thought Saka and Jorginho done well. Listen, I'm very generous today because we're down into single figures of games now. I'm going to give Saka a 7. I'm going to give Jorginho a 7. That'll do me.
I'm going to give them a 7.5. And
you're being more generous than me.
Kev, I said I'm standing, but I don't care. I made this big stake, I don't care about performance. I just want results. But when they perform like this in the second half, I'm going to give them gifts, and they're going to get plenty from me, all wrapped up in a lovely red bow. Yeah.
And then we've got ESR, Vieira, and Kieran Tierney, who were on for 10 minutes, 14, 15 minutes, or whatever. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to upgrade it because you did. I'm going to give Saka, Jorginho 7.5. And I'm going to give ESR, Vieira, and Tierney 7s. Because I can.
You know what? I'm going to follow you, Kev, because today you've inspired some of my point system scoring. And so I'm going to rock with the Super Kevin Campbell on the subs.
Love that.
I've got nothing to be upset about.
Let's look at the fans, Soph, who, by the way, I thought yet again played their part today.
More in the second half.
I really thought they played their part. Incredible.
I thought they were a bit nervous in the first half. There wasn't much of an atmosphere, but it's understandable. And then as the team grew into the game, so did the fans. If you got your program today, this is what it looks like. Well done for going and supporting the boys. And I tell you, we're not going to talk about it today because we just want to be positive. But those empty seats in the stadium, we have got to do something about that. The Arsenal Football Club. This is a Premier League title we are going for. There should not be one empty seat in the house. Kev.
So when I saw the picture of the empty seat, I was like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, it's not cool at all.
People, I don't know if it's season ticket holders. I don't know who it is who's not turning up. But if you're not going to turn up, there should be something where you could say you're not turning up. So whoever, even get there the first half, fill the stadium.
Yeah, exactly.
The boys deserve it. The club deserves it.
Exactly.
To have a full stadium.
Exactly. Okay, there's 400 of you in live chat. We're going to need those 200 likes because we're going to duck out now because we've got to let Kev get out before 6. That's 2 minutes, which means the phone in we're going to do this coming week, okay? I promise you guys. We'll do a fan phone in this week. Super Kev, the gaffer?
The fans are 10 and Mikel Arteta gets a 10 today. Good move. Saka can rest. Trossard, Jesus, worked out perfectly. The team responded. He got it right. Another win. We are down to 9.
Mikel Arteta and his army until the end of the season. If he continues to manage the game like this, manage his subs like this, get the wins, get the 3 points, the gaffer gets a 10 from me. Well done, the Arsenal. Well done, Mikel. That was a hugely pressurized, stressful situation to go after City to keep the momentum going. Still 8 points clear. Super Kev. I would also like to say real quick, I know you've got to go, but we can't let you go without also saying well done to the club for making Rocky part of the day, for making Rocky visible to the young fans, that we're continually showcasing the past. Rocky's the anniversary of his passing. Just really just continuing to tell the story, Kev. And he's such a special player. And I had to put these pictures up of you guys together because we have to say something about Rocky every single year to keep that legacy alive.
100%, Soph. My brother, I love him dearly. 22 years seems like 22 minutes, honestly. It still doesn't feel right for me that such a wonderful gooner, such a wonderful brother was taken so early. But, you know, we all rally round, we all get together and we all celebrate him, which I know he would love. Arsenal celebrating Rocky, he would love that. So
yeah, definitely,
again,
Kev. They got the win for him and for all of us today. It was brilliant. Why don't you take us out? We'll be back on Monday Madness.
Monday.
Going to be a late one.
I'm
It's going to be a late
Monday.
one.
I'm there Monday.
Okay, good.
Because,
all right.
Yeah, because I'm not doing the game on Monday. So
okay,
I'm there.
Perfect.
I'm here. So fantastic. I found that out today. So
excellent, Kev.
Listen, everyone, say a hallelujah and a thank you for our brother Rocky. Send love to your loved ones. We love you. Enjoy being top of the league. We're down to single digits now, and the Arsenal are fighting fit. So, at ease, squaddies. Take it easy and at ease.
Yes, it.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.